So in other news, this might be unrelated, or it is kind of unrelated to what we're doing. Now, if you don't know this, I am not really a big fan of Apple or Mac stuff. I do have a Hackintosh to do my compiling for the Ask FPV iOS version. However, recently, due to the M1 Mac, if you guys don't know this, it's an ARM processor basically that Apple created, or they just made their own processor based on ARM architecture. And this thing is just rocking 8 cores and I think 8 threads, so a total of like 16 basically. And what I found out is I was never really into MacBooks, but now I'm finding myself really wanting to buy an M1 MacBook laptop. Now, the main thing here for me is most of the time I develop, I won't be editing on there, but if I do decide to edit on there, then I should be covered, which is pretty insane. Especially now that summer is coming, and I do have a bunch of clients which I'll go be doing commercial shoots for, a bunch of spas, hotels, and everything of that nature. So I find that to be really interesting and very enticing, especially the price. I mean, they just recently got released and they've just dropped in price about $100 or so. And, you could either get the Air or the Pro. I'd probably go for the Pro, but time will tell. And what's really nice is Mac has been recently very good for developers. I mean, well, actually for quite a while now. And especially if you want to do some little AI stuff, theoretically, you should have some pretty decent power into this thing. It's incredible what the hell they've been able to do, which is really insane. I mean, this is the first generation release. So they have something bigger than this in their back pocket. I mean, if they're selling this for $1,000, then I don't know what the hell they have in store for us, because this is a really great time to be alive right now. There's a lot of advancements, and I actually do believe that Windows and everything else will follow the same footsteps, because the ARM architecture is a bit more efficient in the way it executes code and doesn't have all these extra functions that it never really needs. So it's just optimized to be much better. And I do believe that everybody's going to be following in the ARM architecture. So, and it's been well known for the past 3 or 4 years, people have been talking about it. But Apple just really cracked that door, just opened the door, just jumped right in, and everybody else is going to start following. We might see the latest AMD processors be ARM. Some Intel stuff might be ARM, but I highly doubt it. But it could come out to be some ARM stuff. So it is the whole industry is about to change here, and it's gonna make for some really interesting times, some price drops, some longer battery lasting laptops, and more efficient laptops, which is pretty insane. So yeah, their efficiency is out of this world. I mean, it beats AMD by a ton load, which is really crazy. And not only that, also the performance. But again, things have to be optimized for the ARM architecture in order to be very fast. So we're gonna see how well that plays out, and I am planning on purchasing myself a MacBook eventually, maybe in a couple more months. I don't want to get it just yet because I don't know what's going to happen. The problems don't really start to show up until 3 to 4 months later, unless you have a really bad product and it starts showing up almost immediately. So far it looks pretty good, and it looks pretty good for Apple as well. I think their stocks are going to shoot up as well because of this, and especially with the whole new Apple Car, which I haven't really been following much recently. So also in other news, so the other day I was looking for some sort of a hack phone in order to put Linux on there, because I tend to use Linux quite a lot. And I actually use all 3 platforms quite a lot. But I really wanted some sort of a portable Linux system which I could carry along with me, kind of like how the Samsung DeX, if you guys don't know this, if you plug a USB-C to an HDMI, you can get like a Samsung desktop experience, which is pretty insane. Especially now with the phones, I'm like, for example, I don't know how many RAM. My phone has 12 gigs of RAM, which is pretty insane. So yeah, you could take full advantage of that. So I was looking for something that'll run Ubuntu, and then I came across this one, which it still hasn't been released yet. It's called the Pro1 X. It has a physical keyboard. Check this out. And it runs full-blown Ubuntu. You could run Ubuntu. You could even run Android. Now, what's really interesting with this when you run Android is it's the de-Googled Android, which means that everything that Google uses to monitor you or track you are basically removed. It's like just a vanilla copy of Android, because Android is open source, which I found really awesome and really interesting. And so you could choose whatever version you want on this thing. And not only that, I watched an interview with the guy, and I wasn't expecting what I was about to hear. The overall repairability, okay? Everything is done with a screwdriver. So obviously what that means is it's not as water resistant as most phones nowadays. But if you break the screen, you could easily buy one and just replace it yourself. And also you could replace the battery because it has really great battery life, as they say, but still nobody has used these just yet. But this is not the first phone from this company. And the guy that created the phone seems to know what the hell he's doing. I mean, like, he's a power user of Linux. So just from hearing him talk, I just immediately knew that this guy is onto something. And this is a phone that I'd be definitely picking up. It's not going to be my main driver, but this is kind of like a portable Linux PC. Especially when you go out, you even have the most important thing for me on this. When I saw the keyboard, I was like, oh, I really hope there's a tab button. Because if you don't know this, in Linux, when you run a command, instead of typing the whole thing, you could press tab and it'll complete it for you. However, if there's more than one with the same characters you placed and you press tab a couple times, it'll actually show you all the commands there is to use. So it's really nice, especially with running scripts. Like, you could just do Python and then it's a really long name, like train test or something. So you could put train and then tab and it'll do the train underscore test for you and everything, and it'll just set that up. So that is going to be an absolute beast. So you could actually even choose between 3 different OSs on there. You could install either Android, Ubuntu phone, and Lineage. I think I've never used Lineage. I don't know much about it, but I think I'm going to go the Ubuntu route because it's a full-fledged PC basically, which is going to be pretty insane. And honestly, I really believe that this is going to be the future in phones. Not now, but maybe in 5 years, it's going to be a pretty big ecosystem. And I'm really hoping for that because, I mean, I really don't mind either way, but in terms of the whole new privacy issues, this might be the best thing to go. However, you also still be pretty vulnerable as well because you're basically just running a laptop on your phone, depending on the applications you download and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Currently, I think it's going for around $650, and you could get this like deluxe pack, which is pretty insane. Check this, actually went down in price. Anyways, with one of these, what you can do is called the bundle, and they give you an extra screen. And they give you an extra battery, and oh, here it is. This is the tech bundle, but there's one that comes with the phone and the bundle, which is pretty insane. So I'm really looking forward to this. And the guy said, the one of the owners or the creator of this, he said the main thing is repairability. So everything has to be designed around the repairability and ease of repairability, and it's only done with a screwdriver, which I found amazing. It's like the cherry on top with this whole system. And what we can see here is you can either use Lineage OS or Ubuntu or even Android. And if we actually grab a closer look at that, you can see what they said here. So check what they write here. Say, want the Google Android OS, but without spying? Look no further. The Pro 1X gives you the freedom. So basically what they do is they've compiled the Android OS de-Google, basically. That's what they call it. It's a new trend right now where you can de-Google phones. So all of these privacy stuff get completely removed out because, again, Android is open source. So I found that really awesome, really interesting, and I really hope I get my hands on one of these. I'm planning on purchasing it very soon, and yeah, it looks pretty awesome. Well, let me know what you think down in the comments section. And I think that's it for this video. If you want to see more of this, let me know down in the comments section. I really do enjoy making these and finding stuff and probably sharing with you guys. And yeah, everything's linked down below. Make sure you check out Ask FPV. That really supports the channel and it makes me happy, and hopefully it makes somebody happy out there as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.